Hello, this is Elizabeth Pluswick, and today we're going to be looking at analyzing cash flows, or really just plotting out cash in and cash out from various engineering economic problems. I'm getting ready to do full capital budgeting problems. One of the main things in looking at a situation where we have different courses of action is to analyze and clearly show the money effects, cash in and cash out, over the timeline of the proposed solution. So we'll go through a situation showing the cash flows in a column format like this, and then I'll show you how to plot them on a timeline. So the first thing is to say, what is happening to cash? Is cash coming in or cash going out in this situation? So we have a column for the year, years 1 through 3 in this situation, and then the cash flow associated at that time. So purchases, we assume as a rule, to make things easier and consistent, we assume that purchases always happen at the beginning of the year. So the beginning of the time frame that we're talking about for this new proposed asset starts at year 0. That's the beginning of the first year. The cash is going out because we're buying a new machine. The proposal is to buy a new capital asset, a machine of some kind. So the cash is going out, so we indicate that by a negative sign. Okay, next what happens is at the end of year 1, now cash flows that happen throughout the time period of the project, we assume that they happen at the end of the year. Now in reality, these expenses probably happen throughout the year, but again, to be consistent, we say that cash flows that happen regularly throughout the life of a project, we assume they happen at the end of the year unless the problem states otherwise. So at the end of year 1, remember we had the initial purchase at year 0, now we're at the end of year 1, and we have two different kinds of cash flows happening. One is that, and this is kind of interesting, it's not really a cash flow, but if through the purchase of this asset, the company recognizes some savings, meaning they're replacing an old machine and got a new machine that costs less to operate, we call that cost savings, and we treat that as if it were revenue coming in, as if it were actually cash coming in. So anytime this new proposed asset results in savings over the way this process was previously done, then capture that as dollars and put it in as a positive, as if it were cash flow coming in. It's really cost that's being avoided by the purchase of this asset. Okay, so cost savings is a plus. We treat it like cash coming in. And then maybe this new machine has maintenance expense associated with it of $350 per year, so that's a cash out. We say it happens at the end of year 1. Same thing for year 2. We had the same kind of cash cost savings, treated as a positive, $500, and then maintenance expense, same as up here. We assume it happens at the end of year 2 again, unless otherwise stated in the problem. Same thing for year 3. This is a 3-year asset, so we have those same cost savings and additional maintenance expense at the end of year 3. And then something else happens at the end of year 3. We sell the asset. And when we sell it, we get some proceeds, a check, right, or cash from the person buying the asset from us. And this one we get $1,000 cash proceeds received from the purchaser of that asset. Another word for that is salvage value. So you'll see that in the problems. Salvage value at the end of year 3 means the cash that you receive, or the company receives, as a result of selling this asset. The other thing that might happen at the end of an asset's life is there might be disposal costs. That would be hazardous waste, disposing of it, anything that takes money to dispose of an asset, you would account for that at the end of the life, and again it would be a negative because it's cash going out. Okay, so here we have all the cash flows associated with that option. Can we group them in any way? Well, the answer is yes. If there's cash flows that happen at the same time, we can net them. So overall, this would be what? A positive $150 net cash flow at the end of year 1. So go ahead and make it simple and net them.